4 years ago, I shared my sourdough discard dog treat recipe with all of you. Back then, I thought it would appeal to a very niche audience, people who are obsessed with both their sourdough and their dogs. But to my surprise, even after all this time, dozens of people continue to download the recipe every day. So today, I'm excited to bring you an updated version of this recipe. This time, I've also designed a free 3D printed paw stamp that you can download and use to make these treats even more special. Okay, I see it now. I might be a bit obsessed. Anyway, let's get started. All you'll need are a few simple ingredients. Of course, there's the sourdough discard, the rolled oats, some cornmeal, some delicious peanut butter that your dog will love, as well as some nice honey for natural sweetness. Then there's cinnamon for both flavor and health benefits, some baking powder for a bit of levity, and finally we have a bit of vegetable oil and water. There's also a bit of flour just so we can adjust the recipe as needed. So now in a large mixing bowl, first thing we'll do is combine both the water and the vegetable oil. Then let's add in your sourdough starter discard, as well as your honey. Now let's give that a good mix before stirring in your peanut butter. I like to use smooth peanut butter because then it allows for the treats to be a lot more uniform. But if all of you have is chunky, that's fine as well. So we'll give this another nice good mix so it's nice and consistent. And then we can move on to our dry ingredients. Let's start with the rolled oats. And again, you can use the rolled oats in their full form or after you process them in the food processor, coffee grinder, blender, something like that. Then we'll add in the cornmeal and the baking powder to give it a bit of a rise, and the cinnamon. Give that a bit of a mix. Now we can combine the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Now you can mix all this by hand if you'd like. I prefer to turn it out onto the work surface. Just makes things a bit quicker. Now you don't want the dough to be too wet. You want it to be just crumbly. So that's where that extra bit of flour comes in. Add as little or as much as you need, just so you can get it to that nice crumbly consistency. Now we'll pop that dough onto a lightly floured piece of baking paper and roll it out to about a 1/4 inch thickness. Now a little trick to keep nice straight edges is we can just take a pizza roller, cut off those outside bits, pop them into the center, and roll it out again. That'll make it nice and easy to cut all of our treats on the next step. And to straighten out that final bit, just go ahead and use your fingers. Now for the fun part. In the original recipe, we used chopsticks to make our paw prints. Here's a quick recap of how you can do that in case you don't want to use the paw stamp. All you need is 5 chopsticks and a bit of tape. Ideally, the chopsticks would have nice rounded sides on both ends, but don't worry if they don't. So just line up 4 of your chopsticks and put a piece of tape around them on the skinny end. Leave just a bit of space between each chopstick. Then grab your last chopstick and reverse it so the thick end is facing the other pointy ends. Then just wrap the taped small ends around it and add another piece of tape to hold it in place. You'll see this makes a perfect little paw stamp for our treat. But today, I'm excited to introduce a new 3D printed paw stamp. You can download it for free from the link in the description below. If you or a friend have a 3D printer, simply print it out and you're ready to go. There's plenty of online services that you can use as well to print it out, but to be honest, if you don't have access to a 3D printer, you might just be better off using the chopstick method. So now, grab your pizza slicer and cut lines in both directions to create the treat sizes that you want. Don't worry about separating them now, we'll do that easily after baking. Then, take your 3D printed paw stamp and press it firmly into each treat. That's a professional touch that I'm convinced makes my dog love these treats even more. Okay, I can hear it now. Don't judge me. Now place the treats on a baking sheet. Bake for 25 to 35 minutes until they reach the color and dryness you prefer. Less time will make them softer, while more time will make them more crunchy. Depends on what your dog likes. Once baked, let the treats cool for at least 10 to 20 minutes. They should easily come apart along the lines that we cut earlier. Ah, successful. Though to be fair, he loves anything that comes out of that oven. Good boy. So give it a try. I'm guessing your dog will go crazy for these treats as well. Plus, you'll know exactly what's in them when you reach for that next reward. Don't forget to download the free 3D printed paw stamp from the link below. I'd love to hear how it works out for you, so please leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks again for watching, and happy baking. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, down you get. Go, go.